Welcome to the Disney Hour Express podcast. I'm Abbie.
And I'm Rob. We are two hopelessly romantic Disney enthusiasts.
Sharing fun stories, secret tips, and family travel experiences.
If you are a Disney newbie, or maybe a season pass holder, we hope you find this information helpful.
We turned our love of Disney into a unique boutique travel agency that books Disney and Universal vacations.
We've got a lot of stories, so cozy on up, choose your favorite drink,
whether that be a cocktail or a hot chocolate,
and enjoy the Disney Hour Express.
Hey, babe.
How's it going over there?
It's going good. How's it going over there?
It's a lot different than your side of the room.
Is it?
Yes, it looks like it. Maybe your side's louder, apparently.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe bit. So. The dogs are
I'm also
on my
kind
side.
of half talking into the mic, so.
Hey, so I actually have a surprise for you.
I love surprises.
I don't think you do. You looked pretty shocked for that. You weren't ready.
I'm having flashbacks to like Jerry Springer and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Not that kind of surprise. Okay, I'm sorry. But, today we're going to talk all about Universal, but we got to open up the show with something a little Disney. So,
let's start a little Disney.
Live on the air, we are going to try Dole Whip for the very first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that might explain the cooler that you have.
But you didn't say anything about it before. It's so weird. I randomly walk upstairs to the studio with a cooler,
I was
a little cooler.
Pretty busy setting up.
Never even said a thing. I was I had my cover story ready and everything.
Yeah. I just
asked.
Figured you had more wine in there. That's what.
What? Who am I? I bring wine upstairs in a cooler?
Hey, I thought about bringing more beers up here.
Interesting. Okay, no. I have Dole Whip in here. Are you ready?
Okay. She's taking out a cooler.
We are, we go to Disney all the time.
Okay.
And we've never had the fancy Dole Whip.
Now, Megs just came back. Did you have her bring this up in a cooler?
I didn't.
Oh.
So I ended up getting Dole Whip.
Oh.
Okay. Because Dole Whip is made by Dole, just so you know. And I'll give you some background information.
Allegedly.
But tonight we are going to try the strawberry flavored Dole Whip.
Okay. Now,
yes, we have
little tiny Dole Whips in cups. They kind of look like Italian ices.
They do.
They come with spoons.
Mm-hmm.
Abbie is walking over. I'm giving play-by-play. She took the top off for me because I am a child. Mm-hmm. Thank you. It definitely, from the look of it, it looks like a Italian ice.
It does. It looks very much like an Italian ice. Oh, gosh.
I dropped my spoon. I woke up Lando. Lando's happy.
Okay, so let me get rid of this cooler now. Now, just so you know, it's a soft serve, dairy-free frozen dessert, as we said before, created by the Dole Food Company in 1984. So, guys, this is as old as I am. So prior to 2023, when Dole Whip began to be sold at retailers, Dole Whip was served at Disney theme parks only. So Disney Serve was sold somewhere else. Or I'm sorry, Dole Soft Serve was sold somewhere else. So the original flavor for Dole Whip, as you know, is pineapple flavor. We're not huge pineapple people. I mean, I don't really know. It's okay. But I decided to go for the strawberry one. Okay. Are you ready?
I am not.
You're not?
No.
You don't seem excited about this adventure. Probably because it was a surprise and you're not into surprises.
I'm still waiting for the wine to come out.
Here we go.
I mean...
So it started out it's not bad. It just seems to have this ending that's very it ends right there. It doesn't stay on your palate for very long.
See, to me, it tastes kind of Like it has like a. I taste like pineapple at the end.
You do. So let's look at these ingredients. I'm curious.
Or is it coconut or something? Or must be the dietary fiber.
I can't see because you keep the podcast studio so dark.
No. So that's to relax us. Otherwise, we're very high strung.
It's strawberry puree, organic coconut cream. Okay. So I think that's what you're tasting. Honey, plant-based stabilizer. Oh. And natural flavors, beet juice concentrate, and citric acid. So this is a good treat for us being dairy free. We don't eat a lot of dairy. Who am I kidding? We eat a lot of cheese.
What am I, Doug Funny?
Doug Funny. Killer tofu. But yeah, that's a nice treat. I don't mind it. It says, enjoy a taste trip to the tempting world of Dole Whip.
No.
What a great partnership, though, that they made, like making this for Disney, right?
Because what else? Dole just really is pineapples, right? They don't really have anything. I mean, this has to be so very exciting for people to listen to us kind of eat.
Well, you know what? We don't have to eat the whole thing. I just wanted to try it out because I had never had Dole Whip.
Thank you for surprising me.
On a hot day, you know, guys, he's going to totally get me for this later. He doesn't like surprises like this at all. But I could see how on a hot day at Disney, this would be a refreshing treat, right? Like in the kind of like soft serve. What, do they serve it in a cone at Disney? I don't know.
It's in a cup. Just
in a cup. Mm-hmm. Now, for the Festival of the Arts, they do have like a Dole Whip sampling plate.
Well,
so sorry, I'm like looking it up right now because I wanted to see what it looked like.
I think you can choose like 3 of them, right?
Yeah, I can't seem to find it. Oh, here we go. So it's got the 3 new Dole Whips, and you can sample them all. They look so pretty.
Well, it's all about the presentation.
It really is. And they come in little martini glasses. How cute. Oh my gosh. If this was served in a martini glass, I might think about it differently.
This is made with real fruit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a martini comment makes wonder why I thought what I thought was in the cooler.
Our listeners know me. It's all good. We don't have to hide anything here. Just so cute. They have like a little mermaid Dole Whip, which is
made of mermaid scales.
Cherry and lime swirled into Sprite with strawberry boba pearls, rock candy seashells, and an edible Ariel round little thing that goes on it.
Edible Ariel.
Edible Ariel. You're just eating a mermaid, guys. Don't worry about it. Tastes just like fish. Then I think we talked last year about the Rapunzel cone.
Territory.
And then the cotton candy flavored Rapunzel cone. It's kind of like beautiful sweetness, purple and everything. Very cute. They are so
It tastes
clever.
Like oily hair.
Maybe. I don't know. Some of those like detangler hairsprays and stuff smell so good. So maybe they were going for that when they were making the Rapunzel Dole Whip. In any case.
I finished mine. But
I definitely didn't finish mine, but I'm going to put it back in the cooler for later.
Oh, okay.
In any case, that was exciting. We had our first Dole Whip together.
Yes, we did.
It
does say Dole Whip.
Are you going to say that you've had Dole Whip before?
Every time we go, whenever I split off from you, I have Dole Whip.
Like secretly?
Yeah,
like in the corners of Disney World?
Yes, exactly. Nope, I never had it before because, me and pineapple don't normally mix. And I'm just always like, I don't know. There's other things I'd rather have, like an Olaf frozen bar or something like that. Mm-hmm. No, but that was good. Thank you for surprising me. I love surprises.
I figure we had to do a little bit of Disney, even though we're going to talk all about Universal today.
Oh, wait, we're going to talk about Universal? That's not what I had on the sheet here. I'm all prepared to go in depth about Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Let's talk about it.
Nope, sorry.
55
it's just a surprising
minutes.
of a surprise full day.
Oh.
Does that make any sense? Nope.
Surprise. This is coming from the Make Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
So this is our, the whole plan that we had behind this was that this is kind of our Universal check-in, right? So we're kind of talking, we talked Disney, we talked about what's coming, what we expect. Now we're talking Universal, what's coming, what's happening now, all the past, present, future, not past really. Talking about present a little bit and then the future of Universal.
Yes.
So I'm going to hand it over to my lovely surprise person.
Surpriseful?
Does that
work?
Surprise of my life.
Whoa. All right. So over at Universal, we had talked in the last couple of episodes about how Universal did away with their paper maps. Right? So upon like kind of researching, listening to a couple other podcasts and stuff, they've said that, Universal seems to be really cutting the costs at this time. 2024 seems to be their noted cost cutting year because in 2025 and beyond, there's going to be a lot of additions over at Universal. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really sure what else. I think you had said, some refresh my memory and the listeners, you had said they are also starting to cut hours at certain places in the park. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's over there, right? They're closing, like you can't get over to like The Simpsons or E.T. until 10 a.m. And they close like that whole from New York to London, like you can't get past there until 10 a.m.
Which is a really big area to be kind of cut off. But in any case, and the podcasters for Universal specifically were saying that like these things they really believe are about cost cutting or budget cutting. Mm-hmm. So I understand like
but it's like a PR thing. They mix it in with
sure. Going paperless is what we're all trying to do, right? And we prefer paperless companies. I mean, don't look in my office section over there. It's really scary, full of papers. And I wish that it wasn't. But I have to say, we have a picture of our youngest from our last Universal trip, and she's holding one of these maps, right? And she's trying to work it out in her head, how to get places or what she wants to do by the pictures on the map and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it kind of like this is like now an expired experience, right? She's not going to have that experience anymore. And as a family, we're not going to have that experience anymore where you can have these maps and be like, where do you want to go? I understand that. Yes. Oh, Landy's be in bed. I understand that we can, in fact, give her our phone and she can look at the maps on there. But I'm going to be honest, I have everything on my phone, right? Even my credit cards are attached to my phone. So I'm not really super fond of always handing my phone over, even if it is for a map. So I'm not like super fond of this. But I guess it is just the way everything's going. And of course, our 7-year-old's not going to have a phone. We're just not that kind of family. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings.
I'm gonna miss pulling out the maps from my cargo short pockets, that I get handed to after a while because they like looking at them to start and then they don't want to hold them anymore. And then they just end up folded and slightly wet. And
then we go on a water ride and forget it.
Slightly wet, like in my pocket. Yeah.
And then they'll go through the laundry eventually and I'll find them when we get home. But in any case, so digital maps are going to be more user friendly, right? For those who have some vision impairments, they can enlarge them on their phone. Even for those who really have to have a verbal directive. Hopefully they have that through this.
Or maybe they're going to have more like actual maps you could see just in the park. It's just kind of like when you go to a mall, right? You go and look at the map of the mall.
Oh, like a directory kind of thing.
Yeah, like a directory and kind of just show, I'm just going to follow this all the way up here. Okay, we did it.
That's kind of smart. I didn't think of that. But I guess it does concern me about like funneling, like they're funneling you these places and you're kind of like can't make up your own decisions. You're just kind of a monkey in a cage. You like go this direction and that direction, whichever they're leading. But one of my questions was, are they going to have a Halloween Horror Nights printout map, like a printable map. I feel like these are big deals. We've seen people like laminate them and whatnot, but are they going to have one?
Get them tattooed? Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's just going to be like a digital.
We're going to have to just wait and see, and we'll be right here reporting on
the maps.
Mapgate.
It's interesting when we're talking about paper. Anywho, moving right along, the DreamWorks, which is so funny because I have to be honest, I kind of forgot all about DreamWorks, right?
Everybody did.
Like, they mentioned it back in the day. We didn't really think about it. But this is the all-new Themed Land featuring DreamWorks Animation. The construction has been going on over there, and the entrance to this area is actually right near E.T.
Yep.
And it's replacing the old Woody Woodpecker's Kids Zone, right? So, and I think I've lamented on this show how much that area meant to me because I got to bring, our oldest there when she was so little. She was like 18 months, and it was just the best experience. She loved it over there.
But also, a lot of kids don't know who Woody Woodpecker is.
Right. But we were going to like something like the Barney experience over there. So it was totally different. But yes, our kids don't know who Woody the Woodpecker is. This was closed on January 16th, 2023. And like the next day, they had all the construction walls up and everything. But over these walls now, you can see that there's a Shrek house that was put together, which is interesting to me. So I thought when they moved the Minions in to where the Shrek
4D was?
Yeah, 4D was, that Shrek was kind of like going to be a thing of the past. But it's not. It's actually moving over to this area. And I think it's going to be more interactive than it was before, which is cool. So they're planning on this being like very vibrant and lots of sounds and sights for kids. It's just kind of for a younger crowd, which of course I think we felt like it needed a little bit younger outside of Seuss Landing because we couldn't. There wasn't a lot of the rides were too thrill seeker rides for our youngest when we went, but they're going to have characters like Gabby from Gabby's Dollhouse and Shrek and Trolls and Kung Fu Panda. And I think the Trolls is going to be like a really big deal for sure. Again, I was saying this area hasn't really been talked about a lot. Like, people who are investigating it like have to go and look at the permits that they've pulled and like make assumptions. Like, Universal is being really tight-lipped about it. We don't even know like a general opening date. Like last week we had talked all about how Disney's like generally like spring
or something.
Fall. There's nothing. There's just like 2024. However, looking at those permits that have been pulled, you could probably assume that perhaps this area would be opened maybe for like a soft opening in summer of 2024. But it is it's strange. I always think it's interesting for these parks to open up things in the summer because it is so hot. I feel like their attractions would get the most bang for their buck in spring, right? That seems to be a really big travel time. But
they're also looking for this to be big, somewhere for years to come,
draw in more crowds.
Even though, again, I like to point out, it's just like a lot of these IPs are not like, there's no more Shrek movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Trolls I had a good, I think it did well.
And they just had their last movie come out
together. But when's the next one of that going to be? I have no idea. And that was kind of like hanging on the fact that like they were trying to get like, because NSYNC was like getting back together, then it was like that was supposed to be a big deal. I don't know. It just kind of feels like, and it's kind of like stashed off. It's in like an area, it's like far away from everything else. It's like hard to get to. There's only, you have to go over that bridge that you could only get to after 10 a.m. To get over there. I don't know.
I'm right there with you. It's going to be very interesting. Some of the things that they're saying are going to happen is a troller coaster, like a little roller coaster for kids that's Trolls themed. Trolls World Tour sing-along show, which I could totally see. I understand how they would like take that whole it was like a kind of a circular theater where the like Barney and Friends were in the middle, like lower, and like the amphitheater seating, like so you're looking down. I could see how that could be turned into some really cool like Trolls World Tour sing along kind of thing. That would be epic and fun.
There's a lot of pop hits that come from that.
Yeah, it's like a dance sensation. Like I could see that being fun. And then so this is like the kind of funny part. They're taking that kind of Woody Woodpecker like water park area, and they're turning it possibly into the Kung Fu Panda water park. But again, like I don't recall really seeing the Kung Fu Panda movies. I know that like at some point, like maybe we watched a little bit of it, but it wasn't like part of our necessities.
Too scary. Disney folk.
Yeah, true. So I just think it's funny. But having like a little water splash pad area is always really loved.
Kids
I mean,
love that.
they love it. And
especially the really young ones. Let's say like under 5 but I mean our kids like it too, but So I mean it's something to keep our eyes out for. The DreamWorks. ET's still bopping along, right? I heard they got some new lighting inside there. Yes.
Right. I'm like,
you thought it was the death knell coming for ET.
I was really worried.
Multicolored lights.
Yep, lights.
Yep.
But yeah, so we'll have to.
That's DreamWorks.
Figure out DreamWorks here.
Yeah.
Now. In other news, we heard a while back about the Universal Kids Resort in Frisco, Texas. I think at that time, I'm not sure we knew it was going to be called Universal Kids Resort, but you know, what a name. You know exactly what it's for. But it's going to be smaller scale with children under 11 in mind. It's a 97-acre park with a 300-room hotel. Now, they've just, I believe, broken ground on this. It hasn't really gone crazy. No. It's going to feature the rides, meet and greets, fun foods, and they're thinking of this opening in summer of 2026. Again, summer in Texas? Are you kidding me right now? It's like way hot there. But this also gives me kind of like Legoland vibes, right? I mean, it's a good location to be open year round, where some of the Legolands, like Legoland New York, is not open year round, which makes it really hard to find optimal times to visit, to be honest, when it's not open year round, because all of the park is outside essentially. So this will be open year round, but I'm wondering, you know, a 300-room hotel, that's it. They're really not expecting.
They are not
a ton, but I guess maybe like Universal Orlando, maybe they're thinking it's mostly like local draw. Like, I mean, Universal Orlando is so big now, like everybody goes, but I feel like because of the price point that it used to be, it's no longer this. Locals used to prefer Universal passes versus Disney World Orlando passes, where in California, Disneyland, that was not the case. Like they preferred year-round annual passes at Disneyland because it was so accessible. Now Universal Orlando is a little bit more accessible as far as getting there, parking, everything versus everywhere in Disney World. So maybe that's what they're thinking for this Frisco, Texas one, is that it might be a really big local draw where everybody's getting annual passes and going on their weekends and evenings.
They're saying, right, the goal of it is to open in 2026. I see it close by 2028.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about Sesame Place too. Sesame Place is kind of like, it really chugs along. It's like kind of in this location that you wouldn't expect it to be, but people still go and it's still chugging along. So I don't know. It could be, but it might be on a much smaller scale than we envision anything Universal being.
Yes. I think it's just going to be one of those things that's like, you're going to be like, what is that? It's going to be like Endless Summer. Like, is that something to do with Universal? I don't know. It's just called Endless Summer. Yeah. Which is Florida in general.
Except for right now. It's so cold they had to close all the water parks and stuff.
You know what? I'm sorry. The other day I was cleaning off Abbie's car and I couldn't feel my fingers. That's cold.
True. That is cold.
That's cold.
We have experienced some really icy cold weather here and terrible driving conditions. Rob watched me take the truck for a sliding ride on the ice down our driveway today. I
was watching her front two tires weren't moving. She was just sliding.
And I'm like in this big ass truck, excuse my language, but like all my weight is on that stopping pedal. I can't even think of the pedal that makes you stop. Not pedal. The one that makes you go. The brake. I mean, he's dying now. He's dying. I mean, I was really literally almost standing up trying to get this truck to stop, but it just kept on sliding. So I'm like, I can't do anything but guide it. Hopefully not into a tree. So it was an experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you mix wine with Dole Whip.
I didn't even drink any
stopping
wine.
pedal. You get the stopping pedal.
The stopping pedal. But yeah, so he called me immediately after.
Yeah, I was just trying to is she freaking out at the bottom of our driveway? Is she having a panic attack? Right?
Yeah, I mean, I did, but at the same time, I was like, I guess I made it out.
I kind of forewarned you that what was going to happen.
Not really. I mean,
I was like, there's really nothing stopping you, but it's gravity is pulling you down. It's not 4-wheel drive isn't going to help you.
Well, but when I got into the truck, you were like, look, the snow brushes away easily or something. I was like,
it's a little
good,
loose,
I got this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is not what happened. Okay.
Oh,
it was scary. But I made it.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
And I got our week's groceries.
Just for that.
I just risked my life.
Just for that, I'm bringing you to Frisco, Texas in 2026.
So that I can be a little kid on a kiddie roller coaster.
Yes, absolutely. Just sit around a bunch of waiting pools.
Oh, fun. Well, tell me all about Epic Universe.
No, I didn't do any research on it. Did you?
Oh, well, no, but I hear it's like the thing to know.
It's one of my favorite bits, pretending I don't have anything to do. Epic Universe is the third of the Universal theme parks to open in Florida, right? Because you have Universal Studios Orlando. I still don't know what the name of the main first park is. Mm-hmm. And then there's Islands of Attraction, and then
Islands of Adventure.
I like Islands of Attraction. That's better to me.
No, I get it.
Islands of Adventure, and then
Volcano Bay is actually considered to be the third. So then this would be the fourth, right?
No one considers it. No one thinks of that.
But when you're buying tickets, it's considered the third.
It's just when you're driving by, you'd be like, the kids are like, "What's that?" Like, "Oh, that's the water park we're not going to."
Yeah.
Okay.
So true.
So we got Epic Universe, right? Mm-hmm. And so now this is going to be pretty monumental because it's going to be it's a huge space. I didn't get the actual size of the theme park itself, but it's going to be big, and it's separate. It's further away because Islands of Adventure and Universal are you can walk between, to, and you take a tram. You can take a Hogwarts Express to in between each other, or just walk as well. This one you're gonna have to drive or take a shuttle to.
So that's interesting because I feel like Universal's bus transportation has not always been as seamless, and I hate to say that.
It's stepping up now. There's a lot of information out there, and there is a particular YouTube site that particular YouTube channel that is very in depth that I've watched a lot on, and they are called one. I'll get their name. Name before we.
That sounds good.
Because I forgot it already. But yeah, they were very in depth, and they're pulling permits and they're checking all these things. Yeah. So one of the things that they were showing was that they're putting up what they believe is a bus depot, and that the buses they're going to be electric buses. Oh. And that they're going to have a thing where they come through and then they charge, and then they charge up for the ride, and then they then they pick up passengers and they drop you off, and then they come back and charge again. And it's kind of like a revolving thing.
Okay. So by an electric bus, is there a pilot of this bus or no?
That we don't know yet.
Okay.
I can't say. I'm just talking about the depot.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just talking about the depot. That's all I know. Well, yeah, I don't know if it's going to... I think everything's going to have to be... Yeah, because you're actually going to be on like a highway or,
to get to
Florida is like a highway. Everywhere's a highway in Florida.
Agreed.
So that's one of the things. Obviously, they need to shuttle people back and forth because they don't want people in the other two, staying at the other two parks to feel like they're cut off from the other one.
Sure.
Just like Disney. So I think it's going to step up.
Okay. Nice. That would be good, I think, especially because now that they have those dockside and like Endless Summer, those resorts, which are very far.
Yeah.
From.
But they're going to be closer to where the Epic Universe is now.
Interesting. Okay. So I just upping all that bus stuff, and even I think Aventura Hotel or Resort is pretty far out there. So good to know. Interesting.
All right. So Epic Universe was they started building it in 2019. Pandemic hit. Yeah. It was supposed to open this in 2023 last year.
Right.
Obviously, it didn't happen. It got pushed back. So they're expecting it to open in 2025. It's supposed to be. Everyone was thinking summer of 2025. So now the thing is, there's 3 hotels being built that are directly they're right outside the park, 2 of them, and 1 inside the actual park.
What?
Yeah, and that's called.
How does that work?
The one inside is called the Helios, and when you see the park, so there's a one main park entrance, and you go into something called the hub, or what they're referring to as the hub. They expect it to be called. Expect it to be all like space themed. This hub, and it's going to be called like the. I had it somewhere in here. The celestial hub. That's it.
Oh.
And yeah, so it's supposed to be all space themed. And then if you walk straight back, if you can imagine this, you walk in and there's like fountains, and there's going to be 2 rides in the hub. One's going to be a carousel.
Cool.
And then there's supposed to be a dual roller coaster, like a kind of like the Dueling Dragons of from before. There's supposed to be one in the actual hub.
Okay.
And then there's going to be this big grand hotel called the Helios Hotel that's going to be straight back. And it looks amazing. There's like a rooftop bar.
Oh.
And I mean, yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be really high end as it's in the park.
In the park.
Yeah.
Wow. So how does that like... I can imagine having to shell out some amazing bucks for that.
It definitely seems like that. So that's being built. The other 2 ones are also being built, and they're a little further along outside of the park. They're also space themed. One's called the Terra Luna Hotel, and the other one's called I have it somewhere here in my notes.
Which he doesn't share with me, guys. I just want to throw that out there that I share all my notes with him pre-show, and he just does his own research. My notes are usually
Stella Nova.
Share.
Terra Luna and Stella Nova.
Okay, Stella Nova.
So those are coming along, and those are like big. They kind of have like these mirrored glass windows all along them, and they kind of like reflect light. So Lowe's is the company that makes the Universal hotels or runs them. So Lowe's put out a kind of an ad for these 2 new hotels, saying that they're opening in January and February of 2025.
Okay.
But the theme park is supposed to open in 2025 in the summer. So people are expecting that that Epic Universe is going to open in January, like a year from now.
Okay.
Because why are you going to open these hotels if if there's no reason for being there? You could just, if you're going to the other 2 parks because this one's not open, or other 3 parks, fine. Then you want to go a little closer, stay at one of the other hotels. So that's the speculation there.
That is so interesting. They are like really popping up. They're getting so much bigger. Wow.
Yes.
Blowing my mind right now. Okay.
So the hub, right? You go in, they have some of these rides. Obviously, there's going to be, places to eat, quick service, all those sort of things, food kiosks. But then from the hub, there's going to be 4 portals as of right now that bring you into 4 different lands or areas of the park. But you're going to have to actually walk through this kind of tunnel, kind of similar, like they have it in, if you've seen anything about Super Nintendo World in Universal Hollywood, they kind of walk through and then it opens up into this big Mario land.
Oh, so fun.
So that's kind of what you're going to have to walk through, these portals, these tunnels, and then you open up and it's just this whole big
Do they make this sound as you go through?
It would be something. That'd be amazing. So the only land that is confirmed, now Universal is kind of strange with their marketing, but the only one that's confirmed by them is that there's going to be a Super Nintendo land in Epic Universe.
Epic Universe, okay. And that's it?
That's the only one confirmed.
Okay.
But there's 3 other, there's 3 other lands being worked on. You could see the construction. There's, again, I'll put an Instagram link to this as aerial. It must have like a plane where he flies around and takes pictures all day, and you could see all the other stuff being built. So that there is. They're just for whatever reason they're being cheeky and not.
Well, it's like DreamWorks too. Like we don't really know. We're just speculating.
So
the element of surprise.
The other parks are supposed to be. So we have the Super Nintendo World confirmed. Then the other one is a park that is, or a theme land that is dedicated. It's called the Dark Universe, and it's all about the classic Universal monsters.
Okay. Yep.
Right. So it's going to be themed all to that. There is another one that is themed to how to train your dragon. Cute. Or what's it called? How to Train Your Dragon? Yeah, that's How to Train Your Dragon. Now, I've never seen those movies.
I saw the first one.
Have the kids ever seen them?
Yeah, well, Bailey liked it, yeah.
That makes sense.
I think the second one lost everyone's attention. But.
So they're doing a theme land to that, and then they're doing another Harry Potter land, which is supposed to be called Harry Potter and the Ministry of Magic.
Oh.
So it's going to be that you're taking a portal from London to like the Parisian Ministry of Magic.
Yep. Okay.
There's all these Parisian Parisian facades being built and stuff. And then there's going to be a ride. There's going to be rides in there. Now, let's get to the nitty gritty. What do we want to know? What are the rides that are opening up in these lands?
I do want to know.
Okay. So the official Universal Studios Epic rides in Super Nintendo Land. There's Mario Kart Koopa's Challenge, which is the same ride that is over in Universal Hollywood. It's a 3D ride, or I don't know if I guess it's AR, and you put on goggles and it's like you're in a or you're going through like as if you're in Mario Kart. And you have to, I think you have guns, but I think you like throw things. I forget now what it is. There's going to be Yoshi's Adventure, which is Yoshi's the little lovable guy that eats everything. And that's going to be like a family friendly ride. It's going to be kind of like Dr. Seuss, where it goes around the Dr. Seuss, where you kind of take that like tram and it goes around real slow. And the kids liked it. And you go inside that restaurant, but it's going to be something like that. And it's going to show you all of Super Nintendo Land.
Like a little people mover.
Exactly. And then there's going to be Donkey Kong is going to have its own mini land inside this land.
Okay.
And then inside the Donkey Kong land is going to be Donkey Kong Minecart Coaster. This is pretty. I saw there's a patent out for the type of it's going to be a roller coaster, but the type of roller coaster that it is, and this is going to be hard to explain without actually seeing the pictures, that you're going to be in a cart that's going to appear to be on a track, on a coaster. But one of the things from Donkey Kong that they have, Donkey Kong goes in a minecart, but he does a lot of jumps, right? So you're saying, obviously they're not going to get you to jump from one track to another, but about 5 feet below you is going to be the actual track of the roller coaster. So you're going to be raised up, attached to it.
Oh.
But there's going to be times when the track that's that you see that's close to you, that's directly under the cart, is going to disappear, and it's going to appear as if you're jumping from one track to the other while you're perfectly safe because there's a track that's feet below you holding up your actual cart that you're in. So it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. Super Nintendo, everyone loves it. Again, inside there's going to be all types of themed restaurants and stuff. They're going for real like immersion in this one. Yeah. They know that the obviously the Diagon Alley worked out really well for them. Mm-hmm. And I guess they don't really have another themed area that's like fully immersive like that. Hogsmeade, I guess,
Diagon Alley
does have that, but then everywhere else, like Jurassic Park, kind of. But it worked out for them.
Yeah.
So they have that. Now there's going to be over in the Dark Universe. There's going to be a spinning roller coaster. That's going to be kind of crazy, similar to I guess the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was just going to say, is it going to be that kind of thing?
But it's supposed to be. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be an outdoor coaster. Okay. I believe. Or no, I think it's partially inside. But that's rumored to be called The Curse of the Werewolf. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be like all about kind of, the werewolf. And there's lots of trees going up and all these things. Because they're coming out with a new werewolf movie.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
They're trying to continue the Dark Universe. It was a failed experiment. Tom Cruise's The Mummy killed it. No one wanted to see anything after that. So they're going to try to reboot it. I forget who's starring in it. I should have looked that up. But so that's like their thing. They're going to kind of hang on. There's also supposed to be another dark thrill ride inside the Dark Universe that's going to be like all the Universal monsters are all going to show up. It's kind of similar to like they were saying it's going to be something like Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey.
Oh, good. Okay.
Where you're going in, you're around. It's going to be partially 3D and it's something like that. So those are the two rides that people believe are going to be opened in that, even though Universal isn't saying. Okay. How to Train Your Dragon is going to have a How to Train Your Dragon coaster.
Super fun.
And that's supposed to be like a steel, like launched. Supposed to be like they said it's going to be like one of the fastest rides in all of Universal. It's going to be the fastest coaster. Really? Yeah.
That's interesting because I would think they want to keep it more, just considering that the movie is very
kid friendly, right? That's what I thought that's too.
Weird. But
yeah. And then there's going to be a How to Train Your Dragon Sky Flat. Like they're calling Skyfly flat rides where you're going to be riding on top of like what looks like a dragon. And it just like kind of like they have over in Jurassic Park area.
Yeah. Like
it just, it kind of raises you up and you just go around on it.
Pterodactyl thing.
Yes. The pterodon flyers. I think they're called.
The pterodon flyers, those are confusing because it is only for kids. Like if you're not with a kid, like you can't go on it. And that's what they're going to do.
This is supposed to be like they're calling it a family ride. Okay. And it's going to be slow moving, but you're going to be suspended in air. And
okay. Interesting.
So now we have the Ministry of Magic, the next Harry Potter land. That is supposed to have the main function, the main attraction of that is going to be the Ministry of Magic Adventure, which everyone kind of remembers from the movies, where they go in, they have the big, he ends up having the fight, and that's where Sirius Black is killed. Spoiler alert, I believe. So they're going to have something like that where it's supposed to be as if you're in they said like getting in like an elevator type of ride that goes where, that goes more than up and down, goes all around side to side.
Willy
and it brings
Wonka's magic elevator.
Kind of similar to that, but it's supposed to be like, this is going to be like amazing, get a mixture of 3D and actual moving, things like that. One of the other parts that, again, not confirmed, but it's not a ride, but you're going to be they're actually going to build, you're going to have like an immersive dining experience in the Great Hall.
Yes.
So it's going to be like you're at Hogwarts Castle.
Yes.
And sitting in the Great Hall with like
the candles
up above you, and there's going to be they're going to have people playing the professors.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
exciting.
That could be pretty amazing.
That's really cool. Nice.
So, and that's kind of, all of, as of right now, the Epic Universe. So 1 central hub, 3 hotels, 4 portals that bring you to different lands, and a bunch of rides inside them. It sounds like it's going to be pretty cool. So it's going to be a lot of stuff to do over there.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, much better than I thought. I guess because again, they keep it under wraps for whatever reason.
They're not confirming a lot of it.
But it's just that's going to be really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do we wait to 2025 to go to Universal at all? That's the question.
That is the question.
Interesting.
We have a trip to Orlando, at least one this year.
One, yep. But that's normal family, right?
Yes. Yeah.
we're a little bit outside of the norm, but usually normally.
Yes.
One trip a year.
Usually normally.
So let's talk about what's happening right now, right? Because Epic Universe is coming, but it's not happening right now. What's happening right now? Our favorite Jurassic Park River Adventure over at Islands of Adventure is currently closed for refurb.
It's not the Islands of Attraction.
It's not. And it's expected to open, though, on February 2nd, the day before everything is going to Mardi Gras, right? The nighttime lights at Hogwarts Castle are currently on extended closure for future show enhancements. Now, it's kind of like a sad whiplash with these nighttime lights. They come, they go, they come, they go.
But and no one ever really seems to talk about them, though.
Right. They're so cool if you catch them, but they're only for 5 minutes, not worth really sticking around for. So they've really got to up the game here. There's not big fireworks shows or anything that really happen over at Universal. And I think, we're seeking those, but I imagine thousands and thousands of dollars are spent on those fireworks shows over at Disney. So
nightly,
it's just a different thing.
Yes.
Now, Volcano Bay has lots of refurbs happening right now, which is expected for the winter time, right? And of course, you always have to check on Volcano Bay because if it's too cold, the park will in fact be closed. Now, beginning on February 3rd, this is really when all the excitement happens. Pass holders can receive 1 free Universal OAP. They call it UOAP specialty Mardi Gras magnet. While the supplies lasts, you can get it either at the UOAP Lounge in Toon Lagoon at Universal Islands of Adventure or over at 5 and Dime at the Universal Studios Florida. So if you're ready, and you've heard us talk about this before, we love Mardi Gras time over at Universal. And it's held at Universal Studios Florida, just to be specific. You get float speeds, fab foods, and a lot of dancing. You have a lot of entertainment and entertainers over there. You'll see people on stilts, dressed in full costume. They bring out all the specialty foods, and they've got specialty food booths and specialty drinks, right? They bring whole outdoor bars out just to make these specialty drinks. If you're missing out on the Abbie beers, they've got lots of Abbie, Purple Haze, all sorts of things. It's awesome. I love it. It's important to know that when you're purchasing your park tickets, this event goes from February 3rd to April 7th. Park tickets, if you're not getting a park to park, you need to get a ticket specific to Universal Studios Florida. Okay. Because that's where this happens.
Good to know.
And it's going to be on, select dates. So make sure you're checking your app, your Universal app. Now, yes, Universal does have an app. It's not as super friendly, but it is a lot better since we visited. How long ago was that now, babe? 3 years ago?
That's how long we've been married.
Yep. It's gotten a lot better. What we love about this Mardi Gras it's a fusion of New Orleans and international carnival flavors. So it's like all around the globe, their celebrations of Carnival. It's awesome. That's what I love so much about it.
I heard that this year's theme is all about the elements.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's
what does that mean, really? All about the elements?
It means it's going to be about earth, wind, fire, and water.
That's cool. So how are they going to like intertwine that?
That I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I just read that it was elements.
That's cool. I like it.
I don't know if they haven't gotten an official title as of yet.
Right. Okay.
Right. Okay.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know that they needed more of a theme other than Mardi Gras for it. So I appreciate it.
Doesn't Mardi Gras itself always have a theme?
Well,
kind of, or is it always the same every year?
They have different kinds of floats that have like different themes, right? You're gonna dress up your float a different way every year.
Not like all the floats are like targeted towards one thing.
Not usually.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no. Like you might be in a specific parade that's like all Greek gods or something like that, or a fire truck parade, which is obviously your fire truck you're going to dress up, or a tractor parade. So there's certain themes like that where everything's similar, but as far as where you go, right? The puppy parade where they throw gold poop at you.
They throw puppies at you.
Puppies. All sorts of different things.
Yeah.
So one of the things that they're offering during this time is called the Universal Food and Beverage Card. Now, Disney released their dining plan. Now Universal is kind of catching that wind, and
very smaller.
Much smaller.
Yeah.
They're selling a card that's costs $65, but you'll really get $75 worth of food.
So what does that actually entail? So how does that work?
Well, basically it's like just like a card. You go to any of the establishments, especially during Mardi Gras time when they have 50 different kinds of booths for this. And you're gonna just swipe it like a regular credit card until you swipe it down. So it's just really
it's a gift card.
It's a gift card, but specifically for food items, right? And I'm sure that I don't know the stipulations, like what restaurants are not included in that, because I'm sure that there are some on City Walk, because you have to keep in mind that City Walk has a lot of different venues. They're not all owned by this.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever you call it.
I agree.
Yes. They have their Mardi Gras tribute store opening up again, which we liked our little walk through there. There was all sorts of different kinds of beads you could purchase and merchandise. Of course, the t-shirts. You get to see parts of the floats and props, which is always fun. And then they have the concert lineup that just came out, which kind of really sparked all the interest this year, because they have like artists like a variety, right?
Oh, you ain't kidding.
So Queen Latifah, which like kind of made me like turn my head like, oh, okay, interesting. And Ella King, which is a little bit more like laid back, right? And then DJ Khaled, which I don't know much about him until recently. What did we see? Oh, we saw him on a Disney thing recently with his family.
Oh, the Disney holiday extravaganza.
The Disney holiday show. I liked it when he introduced his wife and he just goes, "This is my queen right here." And I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And it was like, how many times can one person say another one in these 2-minute segments? Every single, I think 30 seconds, he's contractually obligated to say another one.
Is he? Wait, what? I don't understand that reference. Tell me.
That's his famous saying. It's
another
one. Yeah, it's like a big meme, like all throughout the internet. Yeah, I'll show it to you afterwards.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you got to be one of the hip kids like me.
So one of the cool things that you can do.
Casey and the Sunshine Band?
I know. See what I mean? Like it's all over the map. What? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, so you got to pick the night you want to go, right? Based on the musician.
Okay.
You can actually ride the floats, and we've talked a lot about it a little bit.
Yes.
It's called the ride and dine, but really should be called the dine and ride because you got to dine before you ride. You have to be 18 years of age to ride a float. I didn't think you did before because it wasn't really listed, but now it's listed that you have to be 18 years of age, which makes sense because it is a moving object that you're going to be on top of, and you need to be safe. So the way that they're doing this is so much improved since we were there a few years back now, because we were trying so hard to get on this float, but it was a first come, first serve kind of thing. And you would get on the app and then you'd wait and you'd be like, did we get on? Is that why it's looping around in this circle? And then you wouldn't get on, and then they'd be like, you could try again later. And it was just like this all day process. And it was pretty disappointing when we didn't get on, right? So it's improved. However, now there's a price tag to it. So was there a price tag to it before? I don't think there was.
Wasn't.
I think it was first come, first serve.
There wasn't. But asterisk. Okay, I'll let you finish.
Oh.
Go.
Okay. So let's see here. It starts at $85 per person. And what happens is that you're going to go on your app and you're going to go to the day that you want to go on, and you're going to reserve the restaurant that you want to dine at before. So it's kind of cool because for $85, I guess you're getting like a meal, right? Your appetizer, meal, dessert, and then you're going to walk on over and you're going to get on the float. So a little pricey, yes, but it's an experience for sure.
And for a guaranteed spot on one of the floats.
And you are going to be throwing some beads, right?
Yeah,
and I'm sure that they're going to give you some hints on how to throw beads, because you can't be just chucking them out at people, man.
So they did announce that they're still going to be doing a virtual queue to get on the float. So you don't only have to do... You won't be guaranteed a spot, and there's no guarantee that you'll get into the virtual queue, which is like what we were trying to do.
Okay.
But it was more of like make a reservation as opposed to a virtual queue sort of thing. So, but you will have to be inside the park to get on the virtual queue. It won't like you could do it outside the park. Okay. But if you want a guaranteed spot, you have to do the ride and dine.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, it sounds like a fun time. I mean, I loved catching the beads and handing them out to children. That's kind of like a traditional thing to do. Even
though Abbie got mad at this one lady, she tried boxing me out when I went to go get drinks.
Right. Yeah. And so, I have so much to say about things like that. We were just standing there forever, and you went to get a drink and come right back, and this lady started mouthing off, and she was just kind of like, I knew she was there with a kid, and I was trying to like be as nice as I could and be like, you're not being appropriate right now. I've been standing here for an hour. Like, don't. Just don't. Right. And so, of course, like, here we are at this thing, and we're like newlyweds. And Rob's all like, ooh, adults, my new wife is getting really pissed right now.
She wants that front row seat on that sidewalk.
But like at the same time, I mean, the whole essence of Mardi Gras, traditionally, it is a family event, right? Okay. And you are there to celebrate children and to have fun, and that's the whole essence of it. And this lady was not being cool. However, she was there with a child as well. And the first thing I did, as soon as the floats come, I turned around and I said, hey, does your little girl want to come stand in front of us? Like, we got this here. Yeah. And then, every bead that I got, like, we're giving them to this little girl. And it wasn't because I felt bad about giving this lady a hard time. It was because that is the essence of the festival. And she did lighten up, and everything was totally fine, as we went along. But listen, Mikey.
Now, what about the essence of Mardi Gras with all the nakedness? What about
I'd have to say that's like maybe a 20% of Mardi Gras.
Okay.
And it's the 20% that's publicized and on media.
Of course.
Because
it's salacious.
I do have to say, like, growing up and going, like, of course, I saw drunk, naked people. And that's one of my hesitations to bring our kids to it, because our kids are very in a different world, right? That is not something
kids are nowadays.
That would ever happen. So like everything that I went to was like so kid friendly, and the whole saying is like, hey, throw me something, mister, and you're just like running after these floats, and you're calling out names like, hey, Bobby Joe, throw me something, because there's like inevitably gonna be like a Bobby Joe on this float or whatever, and like you're just,
oh wow,
it's just fun. And they throw out something called, they call them like to-go cups, right? And they're cups like representing the float that it's on, so like Bacchus or Orpheus or whatever, and you collect these cups. Like growing up, those are the only cups we were allowed to use, because like our family thought we were gonna break like the glass cups or whatever, and you just had hundreds of plastic cups with Mardi Gras stuff all over them, like advertisements and stuff, and it's just, it was part of it. One of the other things that they threw, really these were the backstreet ones, were these coconuts that were kind of like hollowed out inside, and they were painted black. I forget what parade exactly it was, but it was cool to catch a coconut. Like they were really like rare to have them, but we have one somewhere now, and my brother caught it at one point. And of course the balloons from different floats are really, we have a whole book of like, you know how you used to do like family picture books. We had a whole book of the balloons and the actual things that one day I'll get out of the attic and the other house, but the balloon book, it's really cool. You just collect these things and they're fun, and again, it's really a family friendly affair. You walk to it, you have drinks with your family members. The kids obviously don't, but they have friends, they have their friends, they have their cousins, they get together, you have crawfish boils, you have shrimp meals, you have muffaladas, and you spend time with your family.
King cakes
all the way. We're gonna make a king cake here tomorrow, so wish me luck. We made beignets last week. We made Mickey beignets. They didn't come out too good. I think that I'm not a good beignet maker.
They were
king
good.
Cakes, I'm pretty good at.
There was a problem with the dough.
Yeah, the dough didn't rise. So
now I have a question for you about these coconuts.
Yes.
Did anyone, when it was caught, did anyone happen to also have a lime
in the coconut to shake it all up? No, I really wish that I could remember. There's such a rich history about the coconuts, and I wish I knew more about it.
Looking it up, because we are talking. This is a Disney podcast.
You're right, and we talked about Universal today.
Yes, and but I appreciate your Mardi Gras corner. I can't wait to go one of these days.
One of these days.
Kids, we're going to the naked part.
Well, baby, I think we have talked these guys' ears off today. What do you think?
We may have, but I have a few things.
Oh, Lordy.
I would like to talk about. And this is going back to our home park over in Bay Lake.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. So just a couple of things that were happening. And the Boardwalk Hotel, Big River Grill and Brewing Works is closed.
Which I'm so bummed about, because like, what does this mean? What is open now over at the Boardwalk? Like, again, Boardwalk doesn't have a lot of food items inside the resort. There's a few. So there's a statement, they released a statement the other day that, this is closing, but what they're going to be doing is cycling in food trucks over in the Boardwalk, so that you're able to go to these different food trucks. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So they're going to be bringing food trucks in the interim. There's still other places to eat. There's the Boardwalk Deli. There's the Trattoria El Forno, which is breakfast and dinner. There's a pizza window, which gives you pizza. There's the place called the Flying Fish, which kind of serves American restaurant. Then there's the Boardwalk Ice Cream, and then they have a couple of bars and lounges that you can go to all on the boardwalk. There's 4 of them. Okay.
All right.
So there are some stuff, but this was like a place that seemed more of like a traditional, like be able to bring everyone and kind of, dads can have their brews and the kids could eat chicken fingers.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like our place.
but yeah, so that would have been the place to go. But they're going to be bringing in food trucks, which are always fun. People love those.
Gotcha.
Tacos. So they're going to be doing that. That was that. Kind of big news over in Disneyland. I'm going to go to Disneyland, go all the way over to Cali.
The other side of the
bringing it back to
world.
Cali. So Haunted Mansion, right?
Yes.
They just closed. They're refurbishing the queue.
Okay.
For the Haunted Mansion. It's going to close on, I had the date, it is January, I think it's January 25th. So next week it's going to close for refurbishments, and it's not going to be open for, like, it's supposed, they're saying it's going to open in August, reopen in August.
What?
So yeah, so it's going to be closed the rest of the year. They're doing like pretty like big expansion to the ground. Like they're going to open like a either like a themed, I don't know, it's a restaurant or a quick service like thing inside the grounds of the Haunted Mansion. Yeah, so they're they're closing it. So right now it's still in the holiday overlay over there. Okay. So it's going to be there until it closes. And then it reopens in August, which is when they traditionally turn it back to the Halloween overlay. So you might not be able to see the actual the original Haunted Mansion themed ride until next year, next January, because that holiday overlay is all through Halloween and all through Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but wow.
Yeah, so that's like kind of a big deal for yeah. So they're expanding the grounds. There's gonna be a retail shop and all this stuff that's themed all in the Haunted Mansion.
That's fun. But sad. That's a lot of months for it to go down.
Is. Last but not least, not really not really a theme park necessarily, but they are releasing an Indiana Jones and video game. It's going to be coming out, and it's going to be all first person. It looks pretty cool to me. The day it comes out, which I don't know, it's supposed to be sometime this year. I'm locking the door. You guys might not see me.
Well, I think that's fair. You've really not had a lot of fun video game time.
That's because I have fun family time.
All the time.
All the time.
I do feel bad, though.
No. It's perfectly fine. I like being with you guys.
Thanks, babe. We like you too.
Now we are talked out.
Now we're talked out. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week. We hope you had fun with all of our randomness all around the world. We got a lot covered. And I hope you enjoyed our Dole Whip review. I'd say it'd be tasty on a hot day. Yeah. Rob's still not into it. He's done. In any case, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
This has been a Family Travel Planner production.